Yo, what's up, guys? It's Noah from Glitchmaker, and today I have a budget form of branded Despia. This is a deck that took way longer than it should have to make because I cannot find, for the life of me, any budget lists without having to scroll to videos that came out minimum 5 months ago. I don't know why, it's just so hard to find budget lists on this deck, and it's even harder to find combos for budget versions because most of the combo videos I've seen are using all the new cards that are like $50, $60. So I can't play those. But that pretty much means that I'm not an expert on this deck by any means, and I certainly don't know how to pop off, but I do know generally how to build the deck. So I'm just gonna get into the deck profile. Triple Aluber. He searches branded fusion. That's self-explanatory. Double Tragedy. You discard him or no, if he's sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you add a Despia from deck to hand, except himself, and banish it from graveyard. Target a branded spell trap in graveyard to set it to your field. One ad lib if he's used for fusion material and is sent to the graveyard or banished. Target a Despia or level 8 or higher fusion monster that's banishing graveyard and special summon it. One Dramaturge has the same activation requirements of Adlib, but it just summons itself and is an Omni Negate. Double Albaz and one Albion. This is the guy that makes all your fusions, and he's a super poly on legs. And this guy is pretty much draw power is how I typically just see him, but he does have other uses. One kit, it technically searches your branded fusion and is technically another normal that can start your plays, but you have to put a card from hand to bottom of deck to be able to use it, so it's not as great, but you'd prefer to just search it or something. This is a negate if you have a fusion monster that mentions Fallen Zalbaz as material. This is just the light target for branded fusion. Incredible Ecclesia, if a can special summon herself if your opponent controls more monsters. Sorry, I was feeling a bit funny. Had a sharp pain and starting to feel a bit lightheaded. But anyways, if a fusion monster is sent to your graveyard, she adds herself to your hand during the end phase. Double Keeper Dragon Magic adds a poly or fusion normal spell card from deck to hand by discarding a card, and can reveal something in your extra deck to special summon a monster face down, but you don't typically use that effect often. But he does some things that allows very specific plays that I couldn't replicate with just a Luber. Double Serenir. If it's into the graveyard, you can add a branded spell. You can bin a Bestial or branded spell trap, except himself, and has the typical banish a light or dark from either graveyard. Quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, and summons himself. Triple Ash. I mean, like, if you're playing against full power branded, pitch that against their branded fusion. I am playing the Frightfur package. If this is sent to the graveyard, it's just going to add Frightfur Patchwork, and then you activate that to add another copy of this and a poly to hand. I am playing one copy of Dark Magician because I do have Dragoon. If you don't have Dragoon or it's too expensive, you can cut this or play anything else over it. I'm playing it because I can activate Branded Fusion, sending DM and Albaz to the graveyard, and that allows me to play around a few cards that I typically wouldn't be able to play through. Like, it generally helps against Bestials. For spells, triple Branded Fusion. Fusion from deck. It's broken. Double opening, I don't think you need 3 at this point. 3 would be nice, but I don't think you need it. It basically discard a card and take a Despia from deck and either special it or add it to hand. One Theater of the Branded, it's a fusion spell. Branded in red, it's a fusion spell. It protects some of your plays in ways that still let people ash your branded fusion. I had to learn that on the fly at locals, by the way. Anyway, if you fusion summon, you get to add a card from deck to hand. Double Patchwork. Double Super Poly. I'm playing Super Poly targets. Double Regular Poly. You can search that off of Keeper if you absolutely need to. 2 copies of Allure. Draw Power. 1 Called By Stops Ash. And 1 Branded Retribution. So that is it for main deck. We have the extra deck now. 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Lubellion, 2 Albion. These 2 fuse into this guy or fuse into each other. And this guy dumps a one of these guys or one of these guys to banish a card. These have some very specific uses. They come up sometimes. 1 Despian Cuertis, 1 Proskinian, 1 Masquerade, Taxes. Dragoon, if you don't have it, cut it. You can play like another copy of this, an extra Super Poly target, more Despian fusions if you want to. There's a lot of stuff you can play over this. Unfortunately, this card is expensive and is what I feel is a mandatory card at this point. It's just going to allow you to play through boards and break them and do a whole lot of crap that you normally couldn't do. Unfortunately, I feel like you need them. So, this card didn't used to be super expensive after Maze came out. Super Poly target. Super Poly target you can just make sometimes. That is the list. Let me just say it again. I am not good at this deck at all yet. I mean, I know general combo lines, but it's still going to take me a while, unfortunately. It's just really hard to find budget stuff on this deck. So if anyone watching this has like something regarding the budget list or any of the basic combos with just the budget stuff, that would be highly appreciated. But then again, this is my budget list that I'm going to probably try and learn the game or learn the deck with. So I will see you guys next time.